Well, in the first round of the actual draft, outside of the big news about A.J. Brown, we actually had the Eagles select a Toledo cornerback. That's right. Quinyon Mitchell.
How about that?
Is that how you pronounce the first name?
Quinyon.
Sorry about that, Quinyon. I can't read, so don't hold it against me. 6 foot, 195. I mean, I love it, man. Toledo is a little MAC ball, baby.
That's right.
I love the MAC guys, man. There's something about MAC football. The majority of the schools being from Ohio. I just feel like those guys just got a little bit more grit, a little more grind to them. And when you watch this guy play football, man, he's a physical dude.
Feels weird to say this with how the season ended. I really don't think there were a lot of needs for this Eagles roster. They've reloaded in free agency. They've re-signed a lot of their players that they needed to. The big areas that I think were left untapped, they obviously have been vocal about they wanted to improve the secondary. That's been something that they've wanted to get, and they get it right away with the first-round pick. And boy, did they. I think this was a lot of players or a lot of people's top-rated player in the draft this year at the cornerback position. Right away, you saw him being praised by Nick Saban. Nick Saban talking about he was trying to get him out of the portal to Alabama. A guy that doesn't have a lot of negatives outside of the fact that he played at Toledo. One of the other things people say, hasn't done a lot of man coverage, but obviously the Eagles are more than happy to see all of these things throughout the process. And he's going to be a bird. He's going to be able to play in Philadelphia along with Darius Slay and some guys that have been around for a long time. Played for Vic Fangio, who's one of the best secondary defensive coordinators in the league. So excited about what this guy's going to be able to bring to the defense. No doubt about it.
All right, now, well, Jordan Mailata actually announced the pick from Australia.
How about that?
Thank you, Uncle Roger. Good evening to those of you from the beautiful land down under.
Refers to Goodell as Uncle Roger, and this was the first ever pick from announced from Australia. So shout out to Jordan. He was over there doing some stuff on behalf of the NFL, expanding the game to his homeland, and shout out to Jordan, brother.
Right away, get to address the secondary with the first pick with Quinyon Mitchell. And they didn't slow down because they went cornerback / DB right away with Cooper DeJean from Iowa, who was getting a lot of noise. One, for being a great player, but also, two, I think we can just go out and say it. He's the first white cornerback that, we've really seen. I mean, there have been a few drafted. I think the Commanders had one not too long ago, but none of them have really stuck. It's been something that's kind of happened, but we've been waiting to see the next Jason Sehorn. Could Cooper DeJean be it? Who knows? Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I will say, I think he's probably going to move inside to start. You have Slay on the outside. You just drafted Quinyon Mitchell. I doubt he's playing over one of those two unless an injury happens. But, they're going to find a spot for him if they draft him that high. Yeah. And the good thing is he's a ball player.
He's just a ball player, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's played everywhere. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's played a little bit of offense, it sounds like. He's been a returner. This dude has a lot of things he does well, and it really comes down to he's just a football player.
Yeah.
As Stout says, the more you can do, the more value you have. And it seems like this guy can do a little bit of everything. Excited to see what he does this year in Philly. Micah Parsons, in particular, got pretty heated with this pick. Apparently, he was the best cornerback in the draft, judging by him, which is always fun when you make a Dallas Cowboy upset with an Eagles pick. Thank you for that, Micah. Really appreciated that. Round 3, we go defensive line. We go edge defender Jalix Hunt from Houston Christian. 6'4", 250. Answered the phone from Howie Roseman saying, what's up, Big Pimpin'? You answer the phone from the GM that's drafting you with that. I'll tell you what, he's confident.
What's up, Big Pimpin'?
There's a huge birds guy, apparently. There's a tweet with an eagle, and he said, amazing bird. 2 sets of eyelids, one set being hard and transparent. When storms approach, instead of hiding, they use those transparent eyelids to fly into the storm. Debris can affect vision, and they use the storm to rise above the storm itself. And he said, working to be like the eagle. How about that? Jalix is also a zoologist. I love it. Round 4, we go running back Will Shipley from Clemson, 5'11", 210. We're starting to get dangerous with the white skill position players. We'll see. I mean, it's just not historically proven highly successful, but man, I'm rooting for him. 31 rushing touchdowns since 2021. Yeah, Shipley on Philly. I could not ask for anything else than to be a Philadelphia Eagle and go to contend for a Super Bowl with one of the best cultures that I've seen in the NFL. He's seen a lot. I've gained a love for the city of Philly. Could not be better spot for my family and I. I'm excited to see what all these guys do.
Yeah.
Excited to see what Will brings to the table. Obviously, Eagles just signed Saquon Barkley, so he gets to learn from a guy who's been an unbelievable pro from day one.
Day one.
And it's a great room. I know all the guys in there, and he's going to love it, and he'll fit right in, I'm sure of it. All right, round 5, we go Aniyah Smith out of Texas A&M. Played wide receiver, running back, and punt returner in college. So we got a lot of returners here. We're also returning, I think, unless Covey signed someplace else, a really, really good returner from last year already. Forced 20 missed tackles last season, 7th among all wide receivers in the country. That's good. Making missed tackles is usually good. Round 5, we go with a little bit of a little family reunion here. We go Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out of Clemson. Obviously, Jeremiah Trotter Sr., Jeremiah Trotter, the Axeman, was a legendary Philadelphia Eagle.
The Axeman, baby.
I think he is somebody who represents exactly what you think of when you think of Philadelphia Eagles, through toughness and through grit and through hitting the shit out of people. I mean, he laid people the fuck out. So Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
ain't gonna help you.
Gets to hopefully bring that same mentality back to the Birds. He had a genuinely emotional phone call with Howie and Jeffrey Lurie. I think we'll play the clip, but you can see for yourself.
Hey, Jeremiah Trotter. What are you thinking, man? You think we should trade up and take you right here? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd love that.
Yeah, you're an Eagle, brother. Just like it's meant to be.
Jeremiah, how old were you when I first met you?
I'm
Two?
sure I was
2? 3?
Yeah.
4? Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Really, really special moment for him and his family. You love it when you see stuff like this going down on draft day. Round 5, finally get to the offensive line. I know Stout was probably chomping at the bit here, and he finally gets a guy in round 5, offensive guard Trevor Keegan out of Michigan. 6'5", big man from Michigan. Don't know much about him. I'm not going to lie. I did not watch a lot of draft tape this year, but we know he can chug a beer at parades, which is a good start. Listen, I'm excited to see what the kid can do. I'm always excited with the young guys.
Yeah,
you never know,
especially the ones in your position group, right?
I feel like other positions I'm not as quick to feel like I know immediately. I feel like with offensive linemen, you can almost tell the first day they go out there. It's like, oh, he moves. He's got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you feel the same way at tight end. Every once in a while, a guy will wow you. You'll be like, oh, this kid can't really move that well. And then he'll start playing, and he kind of finds a way to get it done. But most of the time, nearly right away, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm seeing what I need to see. This guy's got the physical.
I saw that out of Noah Gray. But we picked him up a couple years ago, 4 years ago, I think now. When he came out for OTAs and his attention to detail, how he was running routes, how fast he picked up, I was like, oh, this dude's a fucking pro. He's going to be awesome.
There's like some guys that even when they're just playing the highlight on draft day, you can like be like, oh, yeah. Like there was a tackle, got picked early out of Oregon State. And I saw like one pass set, and I was like,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. And then I saw him just completely demoralizing people after that. And I was like, God damn, this dude is a fucking beast. Talisi Fuaga. Holy shit. You see like the balance and like the way their hips open up? Like,
I know exactly what you're saying. I said the same thing. I'm pretty sure whoever drafted him thought the exact same thing when they saw him.
I don't even know who drafted him, but I just remember when it was like, da-da-da, and then they started showing his highlights. I was like, fuck yes. And I saw his face. I was like, I met that guy in Philadelphia. He was cool as shit too.
Has there ever been anybody that you see get drafted, you're like, I don't know?
All the time. Yeah. And it's
That's
interesting when they go really high.
Nah,
I wouldn't say it's the majority. I think the majority of the guys that go high, you do watch and you're like, yeah, you think it looks right.
Yeah.
But there's some guys where it's just like right away you think, man, I have seen that before. Those exact movements and the way it anatomically looks. And for some reason, he was one guy where I had watched zero tape and I only saw the highlight tapes on draft day. And I was like, damn, I like the way that pass set looks. I like the way he's redirecting. I like the way he's finishing. I mean, very limited sample size, but I feel pretty confident that dude's going to be a beast. I don't know. Well, I'm going on record right now. Talisi, don't you fucking disappoint me.
Nice.
Back to the Eagles draft. Eagles, what fans want to know about that? Round 6, we go receiver Johnny Wilson out of Florida State, who ran a 4.5 240 at 231 pounds. That's a heavy receiver. That's a big body right there.
It's a big boy.
Seems like he's staying at receiver. Nick Sirianni seemed to hint that he would not be moving to tight end. God damn, 6'6", 231. That's a big boy. Big boy. And then round 6, we go with the Jason Kelsey selection at pick 190 and Dylan McMahon, the undersized center, 6'3", 299, one pick before yours truly. Per Next Gen Stats, the third highest athleticism score since 2003 at 95. I had a 98 athleticism score when I was selected 191. Just saying, according to this. I don't even know what the fuck that means. In 2023, he had 361 pass blocking snaps, 12 quarterback pressures allowed, 1 sack allowed. Of course, I'm excited to see what this kid does. And I'm sure Stout's excited about having some new guys in the room and some fresh young guys to really try and mold. Especially I always love when the new guys
6-round
get
center.
Listen,
athletic.
Let's be honest. No 6-round centers pan out. Especially not Eagles ones.